And I think it's very important for everybody to be engaged because that everybody's on the same page.
It's about, who's willing to change gears at the right time.
Go out, go have fun, and just take it to them.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Zac Bruney Show. Currently joined by Wheeling University head football coach Zac Bruney. And Zach, a hard-fought game for you guys against Charleston, and you unfortunately come out on the losing end. Talk about the effort from your team, though, and kind of what they showed on the field.
Well, they played really hard. We played really hard. The effort was there. It was, like you said, a really hard-fought game. Two teams that play with a lot of physicality. They're a good running team. Our defense played really well. We tackled well. Offensively, we played well in spurts. It was just a really good college football game that was, low scoring for today's standards, but, we just didn't quite make enough plays to come out on top. But I'm really proud of our guys, and, we feel like we're right there with anybody in the top half of the conference, and that's where we want to be, and that's where we continue to be. Now it's just about breaking through and getting some late season wins that hopefully are going to put us in good position as the season comes to a close in November.
And over the last 2 weeks, your defense has been playing really well, especially stopping the run in that Charleston game, held their running backs in check. Talk about the defensive effort and kind of how they've been working lately.
Well, they've been practicing really well, and they've been preparing very well. The defensive staff, Coach Gaiman, Coach Kaiser, Coach Smith, they do a really good job with film study and meetings and scouting reports and breakdowns for our guys. Our guys do a good job of staying locked in their meeting rooms, and then also watching film on their own. And that's evident in their preparation, and then they're playing better because of it. Our defense has done a good job against the run and the pass. The quarterback for them last weekend was the main ball carrier because, they added an extra hat blocking when he was running the ball. So their only real success running the football was with that quarterback, and he's a good player, and he's very physically tough, and he's a good athlete. And our defense did a great job in the pass game. Held them under, I believe, 70, 80 yards in the passing game. So totality-wise, the defense is playing very well. We have some things we have to get cleaned up on both sides of the ball. Penalty-wise, we have to be better on third down and in money down situations, both getting off the field and making third downs and extending drives. All things that are correctable, but all things we got to be better at in practice.
And on the offensive side of the ball, I've noticed both tight ends have been playing really well for you guys right now, Landon Hoare and Alex Gotovatarny. Talk about their play and kind of how they've helped add another dimension to that offense.
Yeah, they're both good players, and they both possess good skill for their size. Both being over 6'4", 6'3", close to 6'5", big targets down the middle of the field, up the seams, capable blockers with their size, and but they possess good skill set catching the football. They add, like you said, an extra dimension in the fact that we can line them up tight, like tight ends do, in on the ball sets and hip alignments, off alignments. But then they're also athletic enough to flex out and play like a receiver outside as well. Skill wise, they possess what you want. We need to have more consistency in that room, and we need to have more consistency across the board on offense to kind of complement the defense's play better by playing better complementary football on offense.
And then looking at the special teams side, Connor Fitzpatrick's come through with some clutch kicks for you. He made 2 field goals for you on Saturday, made the 48-yarder the week before. Talk about his work and kind of how he's been improving in that kicking game.
Well, he works hard, and he's improved in practice. First-time starter. He got to kick off for us a little bit last year as a freshman, but he handles both the kickoff and place kicking duties now. And Brett Jackson's doing a good job handling our punting duties. So our operations have been good. Alex Tappan is a very good snapper. Jordan Kaiser's been doing a good job with our holds. So the operations of the field goal kicking unit has been better. And Connor's gained some confidence. He's got a big leg, strong leg. He's always been a really good kickoff guy for us. Gets the ball placed, deep in enemy territory a lot of times. But he has improved, and our whole unit has improved. The blocking up front, the offensive front, which includes offensive and defensive linemen, and linebackers and tight ends. Everybody has a job to do, and they're taking their job and their role serious on that unit. And we've seen improvement because of it, and it comes down to practice, and they're practicing well.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head football coach Zac Bruney. And Zac, you mentioned it a little bit ago, you guys are right there with every team in this top half of the conference. Seeing that competitiveness from you guys, how big is that for you as your team continues to grow on the field?
Well, it's very, very important to have constant belief in standards in our program that, we're capable of playing with and beating anybody that we play. And, when you start a program like we did 9 years ago, and we've been playing games for 8 years, early in that process, that takes time. It takes years. Coach Gaiman said it in some meetings last week. It takes years to get to this point. There is no instant gratification in anything that's, well worth doing. So it's taken a lot of years and a lot of work, and a lot of good work by guys that have came before. In that locker room. The standard is the standard, and the standard's ever evolving and changing, though. So for us to be better in, the biggest of games, you're playing meaningful football if the games in October and November matter and count. And right now, that's where we're at. And the conference is very good. There's a lot of parity. It's a wide open race. Charleston's kind of the one team that sits alone in first place right now, and then there's 3 or 4 or 5 of us right now with one loss in the conference, and we're in the middle of October, headed to mid-October, late October into November, and it's a wide open race, and that's what you want to have. If you're playing college football and you're playing at a very high level competitively in any division, you want to be playing meaningful football games in October and November, and that's where we're at, and we got to be ready to play every week, and every week's a one-game season now.
And now you get to go on the road here, face West Virginia State. Tell us a little bit about the Yellow Jackets and kind of this week's matchup.
They're a very good team, 4-2 right now, and 3-1 in the league. Explosive on offense. A very capable quarterback that can make plays with his arm and his legs. 2 really good receivers that are near the top of the conference statistically. Offensive line is a good group, right? Because you can't have a good offense without a good offensive line, and they got some good backs. So they're a good team. They provide a lot of challenges, and then on defense, they're really athletic. They're fast. They bring a lot of different type of pressures. They play. They trust their DBs to play man coverage, but they're multiple. They run multiple fronts. They play multiple coverages, which means they're well coached and their guys are smart. They can get into a bunch of different alignments on defense. So it's a big challenge. We've got to go on the road. It's our first ever trip down to West Virginia State, just based on the schedule and how it's fallen for the first 3 times we've played them. But it's a big challenge, and we'll come back in practice this week, get some things corrected. I think our guys will respond the right way, and we just got to prepare the right way to have a good day on Saturday.
And finally, you mentioned this conference is wide open. A lot of teams fighting for those top couple of spots. What does that say about the growth of the conference as a whole and the level of competition you're going to face down the stretch?
Well, I think it's the nature of college football now. There's a lot of parity. A lot of parity in Division I. There's a lot of parity in Division II. There's a lot of parity in the Mountain East. That leads to good players in all programs. There's really good football players in pretty much every opponent that we face. Everybody's got some good players. In Division II, scholarship football entails that, right? And then the coaching staffs. I think there's some guys in this conference from a coaching standpoint that have been in the league for a while, kind of like ourselves. So when there's continuity amongst staffs, even if the head coach might leave and an assistant gets promoted, which has happened in a couple different scenarios at some other schools in the league, you see the parity. You could see the parity because of the consistency in the programs, the constant work to get better, and each and every week you're going to have to do your best to beat the team across from you because they're doing all the same stuff you're doing. It's just who's doing it better and who's doing it better in the moment, and it comes down to a lot of times 4 to 6 plays in one possession, and that's what we had last weekend, and that's probably what we're going to see the rest of the way.
Thanks, Zach. Good luck this week. Can't wait to see you out there.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.
And I think it's very important for everybody to be engaged because that everybody's on the same page.
It's about, who's willing to change gears at the right time.
Go out, go have fun, and just take it to them.